Okay. uh, in this question we want to find the result of some limit. Number one is limit of x power 2 minus 9 divided to absolute of x minus 3 when x go to 3 from left. We simple numerator to two part as alliance in mathematics. X power 2 minus 9 by alliance is x minus 3 multiple than x power plus 3 divided to when x go to 3 from left, x minus 3 is under zero, so we delete absolute and put minus instead of absolute. So x minus 3 and x minus 3 delete from numerator and denominator, and at the end we put 3 in equation and we have result as minus 6. Limitation of number 2 is limit of x divided to floor of x when x go to 2 from left. From left, floor of x is 1 and numerator is x, so we put 2 as x and result is 2. Another example is limit of x divided to absolute of x when x go to 0 from left. We know that when x go to 0 from left, absolute is x is negative so we can delete absolute and put minus instead of absolute. So from numerator and denominator we delete x, we simple x, so at the end we have result minus 1. Another example is limitation of tangent theta divided to theta when theta go to 0. We know that tangent theta is sinus theta divided to cosinus theta, so we can separate these two parts. Part 1 sinus theta divided to theta multiple than 1 divided to cosinus theta. So result of this equation when theta go to 0 is 1, and 1 divided to cosinus theta when theta go to 0, we know that is cosinus 0 is 1, 1 to 1 is 1, and result is 1. Another one is limitation of sinus x divided to absolute of x when x go to 0 from left. we know that from left absolute x is negative, so we delete absolute and put minus instead of absolute. So at the next part we have -1 multiple than sinus x divided to x when x go to 0 from left, and we know that this equation is equal by 1, and 1 multiple than -1 is -1. Another example is limitation of 1 plus sinus x divided to cosinus x when x go to 0. We put 0 in equation and we get in denominator cosinus 0 is 1, and in numerator 1 plus 0, and at the end we have 1. Another one, limitation of t divided to sinus t when t go to 0. We know that if we transfer t to denominator, we have 1 to this equation, and when t go to 0 in this equation is 1, so 1 divided to 1 is 1. For another one, limitation of t power to 3 minus 8 divided to t power 2 minus 4 when t go 2. By alliance in mathematics, we can separate this equation to t minus 2 multiple than t power 2 plus 2t plus 4 divided to t minus 2 multiple than t power plus 2. We can simplify t minus 2 from numerator and denominator, and put 2 in equation of numerator and denominator. So at the end we have result 3. Another function is a drawing function. In coordinate page, so we can find limitation from coordinate page. When fx, what we find to fx when x go to 0 from right is bigger than 0. When we close to 0, fx is 1. When fx, what is limitation of fx when x go to 1 from left, from smaller than 1, we close to 1, so fx is 0. When limitation of fx when x go to 1 from right, from bigger than 1, fx is 1. fx limitation of fx when x go to 2 from left, from smaller than 2, fx is 1. Limitation of fx when x go to 2 from right, from bigger than 2, f(x) is 1, and in point of 2, f(x) is 2, f(2) is 2. And f(x), limitation of f(x) when x go to 3 from left and from right, from bigger of x and from smaller of 3, f(x) is 2 and f(3) is 2. f(3) and f(x) from right and left in 3 is 2. And for x of 4, f(x) from left is 1.